Good morning, bakers. We are on day 9 and I don't know if it's ready. So why don't we do a float test just to check it and see. This is day 9 of our starter, making sourdough starter. And I've been letting it grow. I've been feeding it every day. Initially, I was doing 100 grams of bread flour on day 1 and day 2. I think maybe day 3 I switched to 75 of bread flour, 25 of whole wheat, 100 grams of water, 25 grams of starter. So let's just take a little teaspoon here. This is day 9. And I don't think it'll float. It's a little bit runny. No, it's going straight to the bottom. So definitely not ready. You can see it just went straight to the bottom. It didn't rise up to the top of the jar, so that was a good indication that it wasn't ready. So let's make sure we're on grams on our kitchen scale. Put on our measuring cup. Tare it to 0. Put in our 100 grams of water. Just a gram more. There we go, exactly 100. Then 25 grams of this. See, this is very runny, so maybe if I checked it a little earlier, but I don't think so. It's still very early in the process. We maybe have 2 to 4 days more. I always say 10 to 14 days for making a starter. So I get impatient just like you do, and I know it seems extremely wasteful to be throwing away this flour every day, but you really have to do it. I mean, if you don't, that's up to you, but it isn't really usable for anything. It's not a mature starter. It's not, it doesn't smell good, it doesn't float, and it won't bake sourdough bread for you. So I know it seems frustrating to not be able to use it and have to go throw it away. If it takes 14 days, you're gonna throw away eventually 3 pounds of flour. And that sounds just awful. Tare your scale before you add in I'm adding the 25 grams, of whole wheat. Because it hasn't touched the water, I was able to pull that out of there, so you should do it a little slower. I'm in a hurry because I have to be at the dentist in like 20 minutes, 21 minutes. Fortunately, it's only 10 minutes away. And of course, this only takes 5 minutes. So now let's bring it up to 100 grams. I think this is taking a little longer because it's very warm here. We don't turn on our air conditioner until it's at least 80 degrees in the house. So it is taking, it's hot. It's a warm kitchen, so, okay, 100 grams. I'm going back to the original recipe of 100, 25, and 100 grams of water. 100 grams of water, 25 grams of starter. I had augmented it a bit with a little extra flour, but I don't think it was helping. So I'm returning back to the original of 75 of bread flour and 25 of whole wheat. And let's see how it does. If I had a cooler place to put it, I would, but electricity is expensive. And we have a big house, and so cooling our entire house, we have air conditioning for the first floor and air conditioning for the second floor. And so we try to keep it, we have solar panels, but they're not much good, they're old. And so we try to keep the air conditioning off as much as we can. We're gonna be going into a heat wave later this week where it's gonna be triple digits. So I think then the air conditioning is just gonna be on, period. And then of course, it'll be a bit cooler in here. So there we go. That's it. Now let's really hope we have better luck tomorrow, and at least, even if it starts dissolving, it'll at least float a little bit. We just have to let it take its time. There's no way to hurry it up. It's a slow, tedious process of daily feedings. I was trying to feed it twice a day. That didn't help either. So we'll just keep at it. You just have to stick with it. It'll come, finally, it'll come to the rise to the top of the jar, all nice and bubbly and smelling very, very yeasty, bread-like. It'll be wonderful. So hang in there. Don't give up. Don't give in. It's worth it. It's so worth it to have fresh bread. Okay, so happy baking, and I'll see you tomorrow.